Summer's coming up and everybody wants the look. They want to be lean. They want to be proud of how they look. And that's an absolutely great thing to do. But what about your health? What about how you feel? Not too long ago, when I used to get lean for the summer, I would be banging my head against a wall because I was so hungry. And that being so hungry made me irritable. There were too many trade-offs to being lean. It wasn't worth it to me anymore. And now getting lean for me is very effortless almost. It almost is like kind of nice just to eat a little less and have my physique look a little better. And it's now effortless because my body is now properly fueled. My body now is a prime environment to feel good for health, performance, and to support an awesome physique along with that. I'm able to get even leaner than I was when I was super hungry, not feeling good. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to become lean, get the look, completely get the look that you want, and at the same time, simultaneously, be healthier and feel better than you ever have. This is the first time watching me. My name is Sam Hardy, and I'm a very young man that has completely changed my life through a healthy lifestyle, fitness, and mental and spiritual transformations. Every single day, I love my life. I feel fantastic almost all of the time, mentally and physically, and I'm just trying to help as many people also thrive in the modern world, which in this modern world is difficult. I'm not a fan of traditional gym culture because I think it neglects health in a lot of aspects, and it doesn't even really consider health. Every part of gym culture doesn't actually consider health. People want the look, they want the result, but they actually neglect the driver of everything, which is your health. Now, I used to be absolutely a part of this. I used to just care about being big. I used to eat protein cookies. I used to eat crappy protein shakes, protein bars, snacks, just getting in calories so I could become big and I could get the physique I want, whatever was desired. And I didn't care about the fuel. But I found is that a healthier body, a body that's functioning properly, coupled with the proper fitness, your training, gives you even better results than somebody that's just worried about their macros and getting in the numbers and just eating whatever they want. And this is all going to be about diet because you may know this, you may not know this, but your training is going to have almost zero impact about how lean you're getting. And it does have some health impacts, but your diet is the make or break of how you look and how you are health-wise and how you feel. I would say most people know that the general thing when we're talking about getting lean is calorie intake. Calories in, calories out. That's what everybody talks about. And it's the traditional way of thinking, and it's not at all completely wrong. Calories in, calories out is correct in the sense that the math is correct. Depending on how much energy you're giving yourself, your body will do different things. You can lose weight in a deficit and you can gain weight in a surplus. Calories in, calories out does not account for the full picture though. Calories in, calories out is just the number. It's just the math. It doesn't account for your health. It doesn't account for how you feel. It doesn't account for how your body's health plays a role and how the quality of the food plays a role. First thing is that you could eat the perfect amount, the perfect macros, hit the perfect macros, and you could still be extremely unhealthy. You can still have the look. You could look awesome, but still be unhealthy. And you want to feel good too. You can look good. If you were to ask any of these bodybuilders that get extremely lean, and this video is not about that. That's a whole nother world of lean. But when they get into the real single digit body fat, they feel like crap. None of them want to do anything. You can have the look and be unhealthy. You can have the look and feel like crap. So is it really worth the look if it comes at the cost of being irritable and tired? Your body's health and your hormones specifically, and just your overall functions can actually change the math. Not by a ton. I'm not saying that if you're healthy and if you eat really good quality food, that you could eat 10,000 calories and not gain weight. That's not true. But what your metabolism, your testosterone, your hormones, just the overall optimization of health is that they can move the numbers slightly in your favor. When you become healthier, when you have a better metabolism, when you have better hormones, you require more fuel just by existing. It just makes your body an overall much better environment. And the quality of your food is what dictates your health. And the part I really don't hear enough about in the fitness space is that junk food, processed food, it's really junk food and processed food, but it's what people consider normal food. Things that you just buy off a shelf, things that are like household staples. All this stuff is really processed food. And it makes you hungrier. It satiates you less, and it's actually addicting to the dopamine in your brain. Mainstream companies and food brands, restaurants, they're all businesses, and it's not personal, but they don't care a single bit about your actual health and well-being. They purposely weaponize the food to make it more addicting, to make you less full. So you overeat. It's super easy to overeat and get overweight. But they do it obviously so you buy more things. But the result leaves, how many people now do you see that are fit, like genuinely fit? Not a lot of people. It's because they eat mainstream, just like normal food that you just buy in a grocery store. Most of grocery store food is poison. So yes, calories in, calories out. The math is the fundamentals. It's the basics. It's the foundation of it. But by eating healthier foods, by being healthier, it just makes it so much easier, and it can make it effortless. All the reasons people think losing weight is so hard is due to the food that they're eating. And obviously, I'm going to get into what actually to eat. But know that when you change your health, you change your body, and you change the fuel you put into your body, these challenges will just become easier. And another thing is, do not fall for scams. There's going to be countless things talking about how to optimize your hormones, how to optimize this, some rare secret form. No, all of it's garbage. What actually changes your health, what actually changes your body is just natural food, not some secret stack, not some Mongolian mushroom powder or there's a lot of stuff like that on the internet. And the truth is, this is the most basic fundamental foods, just things that were originally on this planet. Real food is going to get you there, not any products. So now, what to eat? There are countless additives, things that are just in the food. But all these things contribute to, for some reason, you being unhealthy and contributing to making it much harder to lose weight. Almost everything is a processed food. Seed oils, preservatives, dyes, endocrine disruptors. And these additives are in health foods. Lots of things that claim to be healthy are really bad for you. The key here is that you must become your own hunter and gatherer. You will have to make it normal for you to do your shopping, for you to make your food. You can't rely on other people. You can't rely on going out to a restaurant. You can't rely on food that's already made or food that's already like half made, prepared, processed food. Things that you could theoretically hunt or gather from nature in its original form. You can get a chicken. Theoretically, you could hunt a chicken. Getting a pre-made Chipotle bowl or a burrito or a wrap, you cannot hunt or gather a wrap, a pre-made wrap, as an example. And no fad diets, no keto, no anything. It's not about eliminating certain things or necessarily, it's just eliminating things that aren't truly basic, simple, natural food. That's the only requirement. The only thing that we're eliminating is processed food. So when I changed this, it was almost immediate that I felt better. I felt clean, filled with energy. And I just felt clean. I don't really know how to describe it in other words than that. I just felt good. I just felt better, lighter. My body was just happier of I was putting inside of it, and it was true. And my physique got better along with it. I started even more effortlessly, even though I've been working out already, gaining more muscle, getting leaner got super easy. And I just feel awesome, and that makes me want to do things. It makes me want to go to the gym. It just makes me enjoy life more. So here are some examples of foods that people would eat traditionally to get into shape, and that people that do want to look after their body. And I'm going to show these examples and talk about why they're really not healthy and why it's not a good choice. and an alternative to it. Breakfast sandwich. You roll up to Dunkin' Donuts or wherever you want to go. There's a lot of places that do it, and you get a breakfast sandwich. There's some protein in there, and this is what I hear a lot. This is what I used to personally think. So I know what people are looking for. You got the protein. You can get meat. You can get eggs. So that you can get a decent amount of protein. Macronutrient wise, it's probably not a bad idea. I'm going to pull up a picture of the ingredients of a breakfast sandwich. The ingredients are not just the flour in the bread, the eggs, and the meat. A breakfast sandwich really should be just a couple ingredients. But as you can see, that is absolutely not the case. So a specific alternative that could be good is buying eggs, making eggs, buying potatoes, buying cheese. You can make breakfast potatoes. Now, you cannot hunt or gather bread, but if you can find a good homemade sourdough that doesn't have any processed oils in it or added sugar, because most bread is absolutely trash, but a real homemade sourdough, I'll put one on the screen. The ingredients are very simple, and there's no added sugar, and they use olive oil. If you can find a bread like that, then I would say make a sandwich. Chicken wrap. Endless amounts of ingredients in the chicken wrap. Processed oils, flavors, just absolutely filled. It's not, again, just like wheat, chicken, lettuce. Things with sauces. If you really want a sauce, make a simple sauce with single ingredients and just make a sauce at your house. Protein powder. Most people think just because I go to the gym and just because it's just ingrained in the gym culture to drink protein powder. But there's a ton of trash ingredients in protein powder. Yes, it has protein, but the protein one isn't really as bioavailable as actual food. Your body does not absorb processed protein as much as just like in food. Here's a picture of the protein powder ingredients. There's almost no protein powder is going to be simple. I would just eat real food, and when you eat real food, it's going to become effortless to get enough protein in. Salad. Now, salad is a food that people is culturally considered like the healthiest thing out there. But the reality is that there's nothing really wrong with just the vegetables and whatever you want to put in it. But what most people do, almost everybody, is that they put some sort of dressing on the salad, and now it becomes an unhealthy processed food. If you look at the ingredients of salad dressing, all it is just processed ingredients, and most of it, a majority of the salad dressing is those processed ingredients. Plain fish from a restaurant, a go-to for people that are trying to be healthy, and a lot of times gym goers, because fish is going to be relatively low in calories and relatively high, and can be very high in protein. But as somebody that has worked in restaurants, has been in the culinary field, I know for a fact that you do not just cook anything. You don't really cook anything, and that includes just plain fish. You'd think, oh, it's just plain fish with some seasoning or whatever. But you douse everything, especially in a restaurant that is not as high end. It's going to just be doused in oil, which again is going to just lead to being unhealthy, being more hungry, feeling worse overall. And sugar. A lot of people think that, oh, I'll go for cane sugar. I'll go for plain white sugar or something. Because I think many people recognize that things like dextrose and maltodextrin and other forms of processed sugar, high fructose corn syrup, are not good for you. Culturally, we accept things like cane sugar and plain white sugar, like things that you put in coffee or just add to any dish. But the reality is that when you just take sugar as a single ingredient, it has to be processed. Sugar does not just grow from the ground or something as sugar particles. Sugar always has to come from something naturally. And so sugar as just a single ingredient is always going to be processed. For sugar, stick to things like maple syrup, real maple syrup, not the stuff that you can barely get out of the bottle. It's so sticky and syrupy. But real, pure maple syrup, or arguably even better than that, is a good honey. Although the stuff is extremely sweet, the sugar is naturally in there, and your body completely treats it differently. So the solution to all of this, to being able to be healthier, to lose weight easy, to get lean for the summer easy, is eat meat, fruit, vegetables, and just homemade versions of the things you like. It does not have to be boring. People associate losing weight with just eating leaves and grass. That's not what it has to be. It just has to be single ingredient foods, taking away from additives. And the only thing you'd have to worry about when you're making homemade food is just not using a cheap processed oil. But besides that, when you just buy single ingredients from the store, things that aren't just ready to be made in a package, you're going to just naturally avoid 99% of all the additives that are really bad for you. Still look at the ingredients label if there is one to check, because a lot of things get snuck in. But if you just buy something that could be theoretically hunted or gathered from nature, you're going to completely revolutionize your health and how easy it is to get lean for this summer and just overall improve your quality of life. Do not be restrictive. If your body really needs sugar, if you're active, have some honey, have some maple syrup, or add maple syrup or honey into something. If you're craving meat, eat meat. Whatever that is, just make sure that it is natural, single ingredient forms of everything. So overall, what to do to get leaner and to be healthier than you've ever been is understand roughly how many calories you need. There are things like your height, your weight, your body fat percentage, and what you do throughout the day. How active are you? Be in a slight deficit. Find out how many calories roughly. Does not have to be necessarily exact. You don't have to really weigh out your food. Find around how many calories you're eating per day, which is going to be significantly easier when you're just buying natural single ingredient foods. You can just look up how many calories is this, rather than you get a snack or a meal that's already pre-made and it has all this garbage in it. That's really hard to find out how much actual calories that is. And just ensure that you're, again, eating just natural, unprocessed, high quality foods, and you'll absolutely shred off weight and feel better than you've ever felt. If you're interested in taking your physique and your fitness and your health to the next level and you want to work one-on-one, I have a video in the description describing my one-on-one coaching in detail. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, just go check it out and being able to thrive in the modern world. But besides that, have an absolutely blessed day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.